Hey, fuckers!
Which one?
Heebie-jeebie crush.
$10.
Yes. How was your weekend? What'd you do?
I had a great weekend. I woke up with the shits on Friday.
Yes.
So that was a good way to start the day. And I had a big day ahead of me. We were going to drive to Merriweather to see Sullivan and Tina. Sullivan Big, who was our agent for the past, 14, 15 years, and pretty much took us out of poverty and out of shit jobs that we hated.
Yeah.
Not that I hated teaching, but I didn't have to do it as much after Sullivan started booking us all over the country.
Right.
So I got to spend a really nice afternoon with Sullivan and Tina. And there was a guy that came by. I know his name was Chuck, and he used to own the big Sturgis bar in North Dakota. He came by, and we just sat and reminisced for hours. And Sullivan told us so many great stories. He just signed Sebastian Bach, who was performing that night at M3. He was like the only big name playing on Friday. I guess that's what they used to use us for.
Right.
And so Sullivan was telling us about all these crazy stories of Ace Frehley. I mean, nutsy shit.
Really?
I'm afraid to even repeat them because they're so fucking crazy.
You have to tell me off camera.
I will. But I was telling Sullivan, why do you keep? You're at the point in your life and in your career where you're like me. You can do it if you want to, but you don't have to anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, why do you do this? And he said, because of the bands that he signed originally, like Great White and Slaughter and all these bands that he has such a great relationship with, and like us, he said, I want it to end organically. I want those guys to pull out, because I don't want to leave them high and dry and go with some. Plus, he hates all of his competition, admittingly so.
Yeah.
Fuck them, I ain't giving them one of my acts. I'll go to my grave before I give them one of my acts. So it was great seeing Sullivan and Tina. And what was funny, I didn't even know David Lee Roth was on the show. That's how much I paid attention to M3.
Okay.
And he was telling me, Sullivan was like, the guy that comes in, Brad comes in, who's the promoter and owner of everything, comes in and says, Sullivan said, look, I've never asked you for anything. And I've given you many bands, and we've had a lot of great time, made a lot of money together. I want to meet Dave. Okay. You got to get me in to meet Dave. I texted him yesterday, did you meet Dave? And he never texted back, so probably didn't.
Oh, shit.
I guess. I'm only guessing. I don't know. And you know my Dave story. I give a fuck about Dave. And I couldn't help myself. I had to look at some of the reviews, and some people were very positive, which people who love him are going to forgive him no matter what.
Right.
Same with the AC/DC tour. If you watched any clips of the AC/DC tour, I mean, come on, compare them now to 30 years ago. You can't. You can respect them for going back out there and doing it, but it ain't the same. I don't want to see that.
Yeah.
I don't want to see Brian struggle. I don't want to see Angus half speed. You know, I just don't want to see that.
Right.
But for those who have never seen them, they're still better than probably 80% of the bands out there. They're great. Their music is great. So as long as you got the music, that's where we always came up short on the music. We had the show. We just forgot to write the music. But M3 was great. Who else was on that? I wanted to see, I would have liked to see Piercy and DeMartini.
Yeah.
Because playing with Rat back in the day, became friends with those guys. Warren is an amazing guitar player.
Oh, I know.
And Steven's singing well again. I think he's clean and sober, and he's singing well. So I would have liked to have seen that. Who else was on that? Anybody of worth? I can't think of anybody.
I can't remember now.
If Extreme was on there, I would see them. I love that band.
Warrant was on there.
Slaughter, I love the guys in
Yeah.
Slaughter. I got to talk to Dana Strom for a little bit. You know the story about Dana trying to pull me into the Vinnie Vincent project.
Yeah.
So Dana and I go way back.
Did you do anything cool on Saturday?
Saturday, we opened a pool. My good friend Darren.
Milestone.
Darren Cole, he used to own Pro Pools, which God I miss and I love him when he worked there because he helped me out so much. And we became very, very fast, close friends. And he's now in Chicoteague.
Mm-hmm.
He's opening up a pool business down there. But He comes up a couple times a year, and I always mooch off of him. Darren, you want to help me up my pool? He's just great at it.
Yeah.
And he never charges, but I always throw him some money. I always say, take this,
Yeah.
But without him, I would be at the mercy of these pool companies that put you on their schedule, and it's whenever the hell they'll get to you.
Yeah.
Which I got Darren, and I can pretty much open this pool by myself, but I can't pull that cover off.
Right.
That's a motherfucker.
Yeah.
So I've got another guy. When Darren can't make it up, I got a guy who's going to come and just help me pull the cover off. Everything else I can do.
Right on.
But yeah, opening the pool is a big day for me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, just joy. I don't even sleep that night. I'm just like, yeah, man, fucking pool though. Yeah.
What do you think the countdown is until you're in it?
Oh,
2 weeks?
Next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday? What's
Yeah.
it calling for?
It's going to be in the 70s. I got a heater. I'm going to turn the heater on Monday night. It's going to be about 75, 80 degrees. I'm in there.
So we'll be doing the podcast from the pool next
We
week.
can do that as long as I get everything sprayed off and set up. May's setup month,
Yeah.
I got so much shit that I do, and I do it in increments because I'm old now. I didn't used to be old. Remember when you used to be old? Well, you're not old yet. You're on the
Getting there.
cuspus of old.
I am. Sucks.
They're the phrase I've never used before. The cuspus of old. That's not a shirt either. That's just stupid. I'm never saying that again.
Well, let's get to some emails. We're starting to get a backlog of emails.
I know. I keep telling you, let's just do an email day.
So let's do it. Start off. This is from Abigail Frehley. I don't believe she's related to Ace, but
yeah.
who knows? What is the best concert you two have ever attended?
Together?
No,
The best concert, one of the best ones that stands out for me, and it's because we were a part of it, was when we got word to open for KISS in Pittsburgh.
okay.
And huge KISS fan, loved them. It was during their no makeup days, and we got a call from our agent, said, can you be in Pittsburgh in 2 days to open for KISS? And we're like, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
You just got to drive 30 straight hours to get there in a van. And I remember our sound man said, nah, I ain't doing that. So we flew him home. So by the time he got home and rented a car and got out there, we were there at the same time. That goes to show you, But yeah, that was, and it was an amazing show because they came backstage. Paul and Gene came backstage and talked to us for a bit and welcomed us to the show. And I think they did. That was a pretty regular thing for those guys. They always were very cordial with their openers because they wanted to have a good show. They were all about the show for the people,
Right.
which a lot of bands aren't. They're like, we hope you suck. We're not giving you lights. We're not giving you good sound. Do your best.
Yeah.
Because we're going to go out and kill in front of our audience, and they're going to hate you. Hate that. Fucking
Yeah.
hate that attitude.
The suck knob.
Yeah, exactly. And I forgot what I was talking about.
Best show.
That show. Which show? I'm not even high yet.
KISS in Pittsburgh.
Yeah. So it went amazing. And like I said, they were so loose. I should be high to have an excuse like
Me
that.
too.
I'm old, man. 68 shit. I'll walk down to my basement. What the hell am I down here for? I'm down here for something. I won't leave until I figure it out. I'll spend a day down here. The hell am I doing down here?
Shit.
Callie, what am I doing down here? Shut up. I'm watching something. So the show went great. Like I said, they were so loose and so nice, and it was packed. It was a sold out show. That was a makeup show, and they had to go back and make it up. And we were lucky enough that KISS and KIX. I mean, come on.
Right.
How cool is that?
Right.
And that one stands out almost more than any of them. We've done a lot of amazing shows. We opened for Ted, ZZ Top. There's just hundreds of them. Aerosmith. We've opened for so many big bands, but that one stood out because of what we had to go through to get there.
Right.
That goes to show how much we love the band KISS and how well it went. Because the crowd really loved us because we're kind of local enough that they knew who we are, and KISS killed. It was just a great day, great show, great night.
Well, my favorite concert ever attended, and we've talked, you've seen the show, Paul McCartney.
Oh,
Without a doubt, that was the most incredible concert I've ever been to.
I would put that in one that I wasn't a part of.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, the for him to get up there for 3.5 hours, I think he took 2 drinks of water the
I know,
whole time.
I get that.
And he came out with an acoustic guitar and raised his hand and had 50,000 people going nuts until he had to shush him. Yeah. He was on the stage, a riser that took him up. And then
when did you see him?
I think it was 2 years ago now.
Oh, you
Jimmy
saw him
Wynn.
recently.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was down at the Orioles Park.
Okay, I saw him at Nats Park. Kevin Lewis, old friend who unfortunately passed away,
Yes.
called me up and said, "Do you want to see Paul McCartney?" Yeah. And he said, "I got tickets." And we had to go through this. It was almost like a criminal thing we had to go through to get these tickets. We had to meet this strange guy on this corner in a car park. So, but we got our tickets and went to see McCartney. It was me and Kelly. Who else? We had it. I think my niece Taylor was there. Tried to get Carly to go. Carly's my daughter Carly's huge Beatles fan.
Yep.
Might have just been Kevin and me. I don't know. Been too long ago.
So he called me while you all were at that show, so I could hear you singing with Paul McCartney.
Yeah.
And you were freaking nailing it. It was awesome.
How do you go to a McCartney show and not sing along?
Oh, man.
I saw him first. First time I saw him, they were at RFK Stadium. My brother, Dave, had won tickets at a radio station in Piedmont, West Virginia. Yeah. He called me and said, "Hey, we got tickets to see Paul McCartney." And I said, "Okay, when?" It was the day before we were leaving for Japan.
Wow.
And I'm like, we're cutting her close there. And I said, "Fuck yeah, I'm going." So, and it was the days when the subway in DC would go right to RFK. Loved that. When you ever go see the Redskin games and you just go to Rockville and get on the subway and go right in, so easy. That was the same thing for the McCartney show. And hair stood up, tears. I mean, it just brought back my life, flashed before me, watching that guy perform. And it was when Linda was still alive. And Linda was still playing with him. Yeah. Then I saw him again at Nats Park probably about 6-7 years ago, which is when I got this shirt.
There's nobody that's as big of a living legend as Paul McCartney. I mean, think about it.
I would put the Stones in that level.
You would?
Only because of their legacy, how long they've been around. Same thing as Paul. They don't have the hits that Paul has. They have a lot of hits.
Yeah, they do.
But I would put them right behind them.
Smidgen below.
Yeah. But McCartney, you're right.
Yeah.
McCartney's a living legend.
He is the epitome of cool.
And he still seems like he's grounded. You know, whenever I see him on anything, did you ever see the thing with him and he's a little roly-poly night?
Oh, carpool karaoke.
Yeah, that.
And he went to his old house.
Yes.
Yes.
And
I love that
he
episode.
did this thing where people would hit a jukebox and the curtain would open and they would do a song. How fucking cool was that? That was so cool.
But I don't know if it was set up or not, but like 5 seconds out of the car, swarm.
Yeah.
Swarm.
Well, that's what happened. That's why when I was at Merriweather the other day, as soon as I walked in that bar, it's like, Steve, and I was like, if I stop, they don't understand it. They think I'm just going to take care of them. No.
Right.
I got to take care of 25, 30, 50 people at a time because you stop me. If I stop, they know I'm going to stop for them because I can't tell them no. So I just kept saying, not now, not now. Felt like George Costanza, not now.
Okay, Marty Lowe writes, how did you
That's
two...
old man Lowe's boy.
It is. It is. How did you two meet?
Me and you?
Yeah.
You started doing vocal lessons with me, right? I don't think I met you until then.
Well, it's a two separate thing. I met you at the Maryland Theater when you guys were
Well, that
playing,
doesn't
but that
count,
was
'cause
kind of
I was drunk.
Right. So as far as actual meeting,
drunk.
yeah, it was a vocal lesson. Yeah, vocal lessons, and then we just went from there. Yeah.
You were a likable guy. I loved your drive, your lack of talent, and your drive that you had to overcome your lack of talent.
Right.
I thought it was an amazing feature that most people, and I would usually tell people, nah, this isn't for you. Don't waste your money on this. But you, because you tried so hard and you still sucked, but it still made me want to work with you. And
Yeah.
that's which goes to show your character in life. You don't stop. You don't quit. Not a quitter.
No, definitely try not to be. Okay, Kenny and Debbie Stambaugh, you know?
Sounds familiar.
Says, was Midnight Dynamite shot at Mount St. Mary's College? And if so, whose idea was it? I think the man and wife are arguing on whether it was recorded there or not.
That's a podcast in itself.
Is it?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Reader's Digest version.
All right. So, yeah, Atlantic Records had already given up on Blow My Fuse. We did Midnight Dynamite, or we did, what we do? Cold Shower.
Okay.
They're done. That's it. Cold Shower didn't stick to the wall, so the record's done. Next. And it's like, you got to be shitting me. We just put out a new record. We're so fucking proud of it. And everybody in our area is gobbling it up. And we put out Cold Shower, which was the stupidest fucking first single anyway. Good song, not a single. Did not represent this band whatsoever.
Right.
And so Cold Shower comes out. That does nothing other than 98 Rock and DC 101, you know, the old faithful, they play it. And it's over. And we look at each other and we go, you got to be shitting me. So Donnie, the mastermind of the band who's not going to let this album die, says, we need to do another video. So we go, we put all of our bar money together once again, and we hire this guy. He was our light guy who was very good in video equipment too. So he comes, and we decide to do this video for Midnight Dynamite, thinking that's a good strong single that represents the band. And we're going to shoot it at Mount St. Mary's College, and we got my brother-in-law Brian being a gorilla,
Right.
who got 2 seconds of camera time. And we shot this video, and it turned out really well considering, but it was during the course of the day. I got up at 7 in the morning to be up there for rehearsals and setup time for the video. Then we shot the video, and then Donnie comes up and says, they want us to do a photo shoot. I'm trying to lay down and get some sleep because I got to sing. I got to do an hour and a half, hour and 45-minute show. Voice doesn't work well on just several hours of sleep, so I'm trying to get some sleep. And he wakes me up and says, we're going to do a photo shoot. So fucking mad. I was super pissed. And I'm like, you got to be fucking shitting me. You can't, this is what you want to do now? Yes, let's go. Photo shoot. No, I try to get another minute or two of sleep. Then it's time for the show. So this day started at 7 a.m. and it ended at like 10:30 at night.
Oh my God.
You talk about one skinny, tired motherfucker. And to this day, that photo shoot sticks in my craw.
Really?
Like, you son of a bitch. And he does it to get under your skin.
Really?
Fuck yeah. We could do a photo shoot anytime. He knows he's going to control us by making us do this photo shoot in a day where there's so much other shit going on. We don't need the photo shoot. We don't want the photo shoot. He makes us do a photo shoot. That's the kind of guy we worked with.
Man, we've been friends for 30 years, and I just can't imagine you not telling him,
Oh,
fuck off.
we had our
fuck yourself.
We had our headbutts, but he just had too much power. He had too much control and too much power, and I could fight him, but I would lose. So I was like, just go along with it, get it over with. It's like we had this little TV we had in our van,
Okay.
and he would always want to set this fucking thing up. We'd go to like Boston, we got to set this TV up and watch videos. It took an hour because there was so much dumb shit, and you're riding around, TV's falling off, and every trip we'd have to set this up, and you just did it just because it was easier than fighting. You know?
would watch the show,
We would watch
right?
previous shows, or we would watch movies, or we would watch, and,
Okay.
I mean, it was entertaining. It was better than sitting there going, because there weren't cell phones or anything back then. So
Right.
I'm not putting that side of it down. It's just one of the things that he did that just got on our nerves. Every trip, the TV had to be up, everything had to be perfect. That's our boy. Well, we just would have sat there and just drank
Yeah.
and been happy.
Don Rhino Rhines, you know him.
Of course.
Rhino, he's the barbecue king of the tri-state. So it says, Steve, since you're retired, let's bring back the Rhino Singers. Too bad Jumpin' Jacks wasn't still open. What's that about?
That's a little college bar up near the college, which makes sense.
Okay.
College bars near the college, so they call it the
Typically.
college bar.
Oh, here in Hagerstown.
Yeah.
Oh,
Out there,
okay. Yeah.
JKC.
It used to be HJC.
Yeah,
Now
that,
it's
whatever.
HCC.
Yeah, that thing. So there's a little bar out there. And I don't know how these guys got me to come out there. But they said, come on out. It's a Sunday afternoon. It's going to be a jam and karaoke. And Kelly, my wife, was like, nah, let's go. Let's just go have some fun. So I went out there. And this is the time when I had stopped drinking. I'd stopped drinking for like 6 months. And I come back into the fold after my son Cody was born. I went to the wayside and got hammered. Got drunk off of 4 Coronas and threw up. So we go to this college bar, and it was me and Rhino, and I'm not remembering anybody else's names right now, which is terrible because they were part of the row crew back then. The fuck's his name? Beard guy, funny as fuck.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. His wife owns a gypsy shop now.
Yeah, they do the
Hip
bags
Gypsy Emporium.
and stuff. I'm terrible.
Me too. It's
terrible.
right there.
But anyway, these guys we would get up and we were doing, it was almost like we were the Rhinettes. Whatever band was on stage, there's 3 of us. Jeff.
Yes.
Me and Jeff and
Yes.
Rhino. And we're all going we're doing like the 2-step back. We're going, "Arr! Arr!" So we got famous. The Rhino Singers.
That reminds me.
That story's probably all bullshit, but it sounded good.
Did you do an edible recently?
No. Oh, man. Good question. I went to see Hunter from Simple Pleasures, our good friends.
#1 smoke shop in the Hagerstown area.
The place was packed to the gills once again, and he's been threatening to come up here with some edibles when he stops by. And he's a busy guy, and he always didn't quite get around to it. So I'm just going to go down. And I went down, and I found him. He was really busy with a bunch of guys, and I said, Hunter, you need to hook me up with some edibles. And he got me these hundreds. He got me these 40s, 20s, 15s, and 10s. I said, yeah, give me multiples. Let me try them in the right situation when to use them. Well, I thought I was taking a 20 the other night.
Yeah.
Turned out it was 100. And you don't do 100 right off the bat. You want to rip them boys in half or into quarters before how much of this am I? I did 100. Passed straight out in the chair. Woke up at 4:30 in the morning, just drool all over me. I thought I shit myself, but I didn't. And I'm sideways, and I'm like, you don't sleep sideways in a recliner in the first place. So I get up, and I went to stand up because neuropathy. I have to remind myself, okay, don't just get up and think you can walk because you can't.
Right.
So I stand up,
Right.
real slow, and I start going. And it never stopped.
You were just bouncing.
I was just wobbling. I went to the bathroom. I thought, I better go pee before I go to bed. I'm going like this the whole time. I feel like who used to do that? There's a character that used to do that. Anyway, that's what I'm feeling the whole time. I sit on the toilet and I'm afraid to stand. I'll fall in the toilet like I fell in the fireplace. I don't want to do that. So I get done, and once again, I got to stand up, and I wobble to the bedroom. And I finally make it to bed, and I'm thinking, okay, good. Get in bed, and I stretch, and my legs start going. It was like restless leg syndrome. And I'm like, whoa, the fuck? I've never been this high. And I've been high before. I've never been that. I'm sleeping like this.
Were you Rick high?
Oh, I was way higher than that. You weren't wobbling. I was a wobbly. I could have fallen down. I weebled.
Jesus Christ.
And what's crazy, I woke up the next day at 8:30. Woke up.
It's still
I'm
bouncing.
still fucking wobbling. And I'm like, okay, I'll drink a couple cups of coffee, get this shit out of me. And I go to take a walk, and Kelly goes, you okay? I think so. I start walking. I was high all day yesterday. I was high all
From
fucking
that
day.
one edible.
One edible.
So, if you want to get as high as Steve just got.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't. portions.
Moderation.
Moderation.
Go visit.
It was a mistake. Yeah, go see the guys in Simple Pleasures because they've got it all. And yeah, start low and work your way up.
Yeah. Do they have 5s or they start at 10?
They don't have 5s anymore.
Start at 10.
They start at 10s.
So 10 milligrams up to, I think they have at least a 250.
They do.
That I know
And
of.
the reason I wanted to go higher, I think the week Hunter was here, when I put alcohol down for a month, I'm like, okay, well, I'll just use edibles and I'll just get high and I'll be good. So the pot, the smoking helped, but the edibles just like never kicked in for me.
Right.
Because all I had was 10s. I had to take like 4 or 5 of them. So I saw Hunter go, I need some edibles that's going to fucking light me up. So he hit me up good.
Right on. Simple Pleasures. If you're in the Hagerstown area, you got to stop and see them. Tell them Steve and Rick sent you. And they've got a variety. Like Steve just said, they got 5 different levels of edibles.
They have everything, and I really don't know how they can, because the dispensary, you can't get anything above a 10 unless you have the medical card.
Right.
Whatever, baby.
Don't question it. Let's just take advantage of it.
Yeah, be happy.
Right on.
Wobble and be happy.
And that was Saturday you took it, so you were high Sunday from it?
No, it was what's today? It was Monday I took it.
Monday?
I wobbled all Monday night and all day Tuesday. I was starting to wonder, is this ever going to stop?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Mine lasted like a whole night and then the whole next day.
I thought my brain done changed and it wasn't ever going to go back.
Did.
Harold Douglas, I haven't seen any tattoos on Steve. Does he have any?
Hell no. Never had a desire for a tattoo. Especially when I see a beautiful woman with tats all over them, it disgusts me, because you got this beautiful body and you got tattoos all over you. You don't need that. You got a beautiful body.
Yeah.
If you're fat, go for it.
Oh, God. Oh, my God.
I'm kidding. I'm just kidding.
So let's go to the next email, and it starts off, Eric Hoffman. First, I think it's great how brutally honest Steve is.
Well, you got that for you.
Do you often get recognized in public, and has KIX ever had a Beatles-like scenario with wild fans or a police escort?
The only Beatle-esque thing we ever had was when first time we went to Japan and got off the plane, and the airport was packed with KIX fans. It was like, what? I mean, it blew us away. There was probably 1,000 to 2,000 fans holding up KIX albums, and it's like, yelling, KIX, KIX, we love KIX. So other than that, no.
Was there a police escort with that or no?
That was security. I would
Really?
call it police, yeah. We were so blown away
That'd
going
be
into
cool.
Japan, because it was just so organized. The people that picked us up in Mercedes, they had car phones back then. This is the early 80s, Nobody had car phones then. And we pulled into this gas station, and about 100 little Japanese guys run out, and they start going to the windshield and cleaning the wipers and vacuuming. I mean, they just did everything for the car, and it's like, Jesus Christ, this is what it used to be like. Remember you don't remember, back in the day they used to change your oil and check your oil and pump your gas.
It was one of my first
These people
jobs.
did everything. They vacuumed your car, they did everything. It was amazing, the efficiency of that country. And it was like that in every aspect.
Wow.
It was an amazing country. I would, if I'd ever want to visit another country, it'd be Japan again.
Really?
Yeah.
Even just to visit for
Yeah,
vacation?
just to go, because, when you're being herded around, do this, go do that, I'd like to go there and be able to, on my own terms, and enjoy it.
No itinerary.
Right.
Well, you're not going to believe this. That's
I believe anything.
That's it. That time flew by.
I don't have anything.
That's all right.
One of these days I'll show you how to do that, Rick, and I can stop.